Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called The Longest Possible Thermometers by Railman. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 once in every row, column, and box. We have fog, where parts of the grid are covered in fog. Placing correct digits may clear the fog somewhere in the grid. So this is dynamic fog of war. I'm not the biggest fan of these, but let's just see what else happens here. And finally, we have the longest possible thermometers in boxes rule, where digits must increase along the thermometers starting from the bulb. In this puzzle, the following rules apply. Each 3x3 box contains a thermometer. So this contains a thermometer, and every other 3x3 box contains a thermometer. Thermometers cannot cross region borders. Thermometers cannot cross themselves. And thermometers can move orthogonally or diagonally. Each provided thermometer is the uniquely longest possible thermometer that can be made in its region. For example, in the solved grid, if the thermometer in the top left box was removed, if the thermometer in the top left box was removed, then it would not be possible to draw a different 6-cell thermometer or any 7, 8, or 9-cell thermometer in the top left box. So this is basically the longest possible thermometer in that box for each thermometer in the grid. So for example, in the solved grid, if the thermometer is in the top left box was removed, it would not be possible to draw a different 6-cell thermometer. So there are no ties either. That's interesting. Huh. And and visit this puzzle's Logic Masters Germany page if you need more information. Well, those are all the rules. Basically, this is the longest possible thermometer to be had. And again, the thermometer can go orthogonally or diagonally. And orthogonally just means horizontally or vertically. Diagonally, obviously, is diagonally. Those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. So that means this must be 9 and this must be 1. Right? Because if one of these were 9, they would definitely be able to be longer, right? You would have to have a longer possible 1. And if there was 1, well, it would have... Is that 1? There could be a 1 here. But this is guaranteed to be 9, though. Because 9 cannot be anywhere else on the thermometer, because this cell's greater than all of those. And if these were 9, this would necessarily be smaller than it, and then this would not be the longest possible thermometer. So this has to be 9. So that's 9. 1 is either here or... Actually, I guess it could be here. 8 can also not be one of these 3 cells, because if 8's here, then the thermometer would go here, then here, or here, then here, or here, then here. And 8 cannot be anything here, because this digit is greater than all of them. So this has to be 8 then, also. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is at least 6, so this is 7 or 6 here. These could be 7, though, right? So this is 6 or 7. if this were 8 or 9, it would necessarily have to increase there, so this must be an 8-9 pair here. Therefore, this can never be 7, because if this is 7, that's 6, and this would then be form the longest actual thermometer. So this has to be 7 here. This is 7. This is 5 or 6, 4 or 5, 3 or 4, 2 or 3, and then 1 or 2. So this cannot be 1, because if this were 1, that would force this to be 2, and then this would be the longest thermometer. So this has to be 1 here. If this is 2, then these would be equal in length, and therefore this would not be the longest thermometer. So this cannot be 2 here, therefore this must be 2 here. If this were 3, you'd have the same problem, right? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is also the same length as this one. So this can't be 3, therefore this is 3 there. Okay, remaining digits in column 2. Well, 1, these cannot be 1 because 1 has to be the lowest possible digit, and these are all greater than other digits. So this is guaranteed to be 1 here. We have 4, 5, and 6 remaining. That means this digit must be greater than that, so this can't be 4, this can't be 6. This is 4. That means this is greater than 4, so it's 5, 6, 7. This is greater than 5, so it's 6 or 7. This cell must be smaller than that, so it cannot be 7. This cell must be smaller than that, so it can't be 6. We have a 4, 5 pair in column 2, so this can't be 4, 5. It's 6. 1 cannot be here. This is 6, so this must be 7, 8, or 9 here. You cannot have a 9 be either of these cells. Okay, so this is less than 4, 5, so it's 3 or 4. 2, 3, or 4, because this is greater than 1. This cannot be 7 here, because if this were 7, then it would be necessarily 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, which is a longer thermometer. But this could be 2 through 6. This is 1 through 4 here. This cannot be 1, because if this were 1, the problem is this is greater than 1, and then this would form the longest thermometer. So this is 2 through 6. It could be 7 there, too. This can be any of 4, 5, or 6. So that's fine. How about this? 9 cannot be either of these. So 9 has to be one of this or this, because if 9 were here, this would necessarily be bigger than this digit, and therefore this would be a longer thermometer. This cannot be 2 or 3, because, well, okay, sorry, it can't be 2 here, because if this is 2, then this would necessarily be the longest thermometer. This would be longer than this thermometer, shall I say. So this is no 2. It could be 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Neither of these can be a 7, because if this were a 7, it would go... This would be a longer thermometer, going 7 than 8 or 9 there. So... this cannot be the same, cannot be greater than this cell. If this is greater than that cell, then this matches the longest thermometer as this, and we know this is the uniquely longest possible thermometer. So this is less than this cell. So this has to be 2, 3, or 4 here, guaranteed. This can't be 8 or 9. This can't be... Well, I guess this could be... Can this be larger than this? It cannot be, because if it is larger than this... And it can't be 7 either, because if it's 6, 7, then that would be large. This would be the longest unique one, going from here to there. So this cannot be 6 or greater. It cannot be 6, obviously, but it can't be greater than 6, because then it would be 6, 7, 8, or 6, 7, 8, or 6, 7, 9, or 6, 7, 9, and that would be the longest. So this must be smaller than 6. So this is 2 through 5. We then have an 8, 9 pair remaining in these two cells, because these cannot be 8 or 9. Well, whereas the 7 then in column 3, it has to be one of these two digits, which means this cannot be 7, this is 6. So we have 6, 5, 4. That makes this not 4, so this is 5, which eliminates 5 in the box. This can't be 5 or 6 or 4. No 4, 5, or 6. This is 2, 3, 7, or 1. It could be 1 here. This can't be 4 because it's less than that. So we have a 2, 3, 4 triplet in box 7, which eliminates 2, 3, 4 in the rest of the box. So this is 7, 8, and 9. This 5, 6 pair eliminates 5 and 6 here. So this is 4, which eliminates 4 here. So it's 5 and 6. This digit cannot be 9. These digits cannot be 9, so 9 has to be one of these two. This is at least 1. This is greater than that, at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it could be 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5. It cannot be 4 or 5, so this is 3, which makes this 2, which makes that 1. So this can't be 3, this can't be 2. This cannot be 4 because if it, well, it can't be 4 because of 4 in the row. So remaining digits then have to be 6 through 9 here. So if this were 6, that would force us to be at 7 and 8, and then that would eliminate 6, 7, and 8 from both of these cells, and they would both have to be 9, which is impossible. So this cannot be 6 here. This cannot be 5, because if it were 5, the problem is 4 to 5, and then whatever this is, which would be greater than 5, and then to this would then be the longest thermometer. So this cannot be 5. It could be 4, 6, 7, or 8 here. Can this be... It could be 4, 5, okay. So 4 has to be one of these two digits. 5 has to be one of these two digits. Okay. This 4 eliminates 4 here, so that's 2 or 3. Therefore, 4 is one of these two. Okay. Hmm. This can't be 3, because if this is 3, you could go this way, then to the 4, and that would make the a longer thermometer than this one. So this can't be 3, this is 7. So obviously this can't be 7 here. Hmm. So we know 3 is one of these two. The rest of row 2 has to be 3, 4, 5, and 9. Hmm. What else do we have? Hmm. If okay, if this cannot be 8 here. If this were 8, it cannot be 7 here. Because then these two cells, this would be greater than this cell. And then this would not be uniquely longest. So this cannot be 7 or 8. It's 4 or 6. If this is 6, this has to be 4, and then this would have to be 5. But then this would not be uniquely longest either. So this cannot be 6. This is 4, which makes this 5. Therefore, this is larger than 5. This can't be 6 because it's greater than 6 or 7. There's no 5 here. This must be 3, 4, and 9 to work on the thermometer. So we have 3, 4, and 9. This is then 1 or 2. This, well, we know we have a guaranteed 1 or 2 here in one of these cells. This is greater than 4, so it's we have a 1, 2, 3 triplet. So we have to have 5 somewhere here. 5 cannot be here because it would have to be greater than 2 digits, one of which is 4. So this must be 5 here. This is 6, 7, or 8. This is at least 1, 2, not 3, it's not 4, it's at least 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 or 9, 7 or 8 cannot be 8 here, so this is 7 guaranteed. So that's 7, which makes that 6, which makes that 5. This is at 2 or 4, and this has to be 1 or 3. 7 eliminates 7 here, so this is 6. Means this cannot be 6 here. This cannot be 6 here because there's 6 in the box. This cannot be less than 5 because then the cannot cross itself. But if you could still have another thermometer going, if this were less than 5, it could go that way, and that would match the length of this one. So this cannot be less than 5. And therefore it can't be 6 or 7, so this must be 8 or 9. We have an 8-9 pair now in... Well, we have a 7-8-9 triplet in column 4, but we have an 8-9 pair... Well, okay, we already knew that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 cannot be here. Where's 2 in this box? It has to be here. So this is 2, which makes that 1. That leaves this as a 3, 4 pair here. This can't be 4 because of 4 in the column. So that's 3 and that's 4. Remaining digits in row 6 are 1, 5, and 6. This can't be 5 because of 5 in the column. This is at least 1, at least 2, 3, no 4 here. It can't be 3 actually even. So this is 4. It cannot be 8 or 9. This is 4, 8, and 9, and this digit has 3 digits greater than it, so this can't be 8 or 9, it's 4. So we have 8 and 9 here, and 8 and 9 here. This is greater than 4, so at least 5. This is greater than that, so it's at least 6. And it cannot be 7, 8, or 9 because of the 7, 8, 9 triplet in the column. So then this must be 6 and 5. This is then 2 or 3 here. This is 1 or 2. This 3 eliminates 3 being here, so this is 2, that's 1. 2 eliminates 2 here, so it's 3, which makes this not 3, so it's 2. Which makes this 1 here. That makes that 2 here. Not 2, that's 3 here. And that 2 eliminates 2 here, so it's 1. This leaves this digit as a 3. Obviously, this can't be 3 anymore because of 3 in the box. This digit has to be a 7. Okay, this digit cannot be 1 here. It has to be, can't be 1 here. So it's at least 2, at least 3. Cannot be 3 because of 3 in the row. At least 4. So these digits have to be in order. And therefore this is 4, 7 and this has to be 8 because the possibilities on this row was 4, 7, 8, 9. And 4 and 7 are the lowest and the second lowest. If this were 9, this digit would not be possible to be larger than it. So it's 8 here, that's 9. So this becomes 9, this is 8. This can't be 3, it could be 2 or 3, but the 3 in the column eliminates that from being a 3. So this is 2, which makes this 3. 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 7, which makes this 8. This can't be 8 or 9, it's 7. This can't be 7 or 8, it's 9. Remaining digits, okay. This cannot be 6 because if this is 6, this is 5, and then this thermometer would be longer than the given one, so this is 1. No 1 here. Remaining digits in row 1 are 2, 6, and 8. 2 cannot be here, 8 cannot be here. This is digits at least 1, at least 2, 3. This can't be 3. So this is at least 5 here because of 1, 2, 3, 4 in the column. 6 can't be 6 here because of 6 in the row. So it could be 7. This has to be greater than that, 8, and this cannot be 9 in either spot, so 9 has to be here. So this must be 9, this must be 1, that's 7, that's 8, and this is 9. This is less than 7, so it's at most 6, cannot be 6. So this is 5, which makes this 6, which makes that 5. 6 eliminates 6 here, so it's 8. Therefore, this can't be 8. This has to be less than 5, so it's 2, 3, or 4. Cannot be 4 because of 4 in the column. If this were 2, 9 eliminates 9 here, so this is 8, which makes this 9. 8 and 9 eliminate 8 and 9 here, so it's 7. This can't be 7 or 9. It's 8, which forces this not to be 8. That's 9, which makes that 8. If this were smaller than this one, which would mean 2, then it would have this thermometer would be larger than the given one. So this cannot be 2. It could be has to be 3 or 4 then, and it cannot be 3 because of 3 in the column. So this is 4, which makes this 2, which makes that 4, which eliminates 2 here, so it's 3. And then we have 2 and 6 here. If So what's the ordering on this? This would only be 5 in length, so we don't have anything differentiating that. Huh. 2, 6, 8, 9. 2, it cannot cross itself. Uh, 6, 8, 1, 3. What's the disambiguation here? It should be the longest possible thermometer for the disambiguation. But right now I'm not seeing it. Hmm. Um, yeah, I don't see any disambiguation here. Hmm. Okay, so 145. Okay, so this is all kosher as thermometers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so the question is, can there ever be longer ones? So you could go 1789. That's not that long. 14789. That's not long enough. 14689. Obviously not long enough. We could start at. If this were 2, this would have to be 3, and then you could go this way, and that would be the longest thermometer. So this can't be 2. This is 6. That's 2, which makes this 6 and 2. So again, if this were 2, then this would be a 6-length thermometer that way, and that would not, therefore, this would not be unique. So that's the reason why this is not 2. Interesting rule set. Definitely fairly limiting. And you definitely need the fog of war to, otherwise you could just solve it fairly quickly, I feel. Interesting concept. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.